a turnaround for them. Influence Rage were out a little bit earlier, although they did manage to get up to 4th place still.
There should be BTRs. They have the angle advantage, the positional advantage. Circle is going to push Vibes out first. But we saw this situation on day 1 with them against, I think it was Major Pride. They had all of the sightlines locked in on them. It was a 4v4. It should have been an easy win for BTR, but they dropped it. So it could happen again here.
I think it might be De Muerte. It was one of the two. You're right.
Yeah, one of the two.
It was a really good final stand for them. I think it was Genfos as the last player alive, getting 2 out of the 3, but wasn't quite able to get there. But with this sort of a position, I mean, it's even more powerful than the one they had before against this specific setup for Vibes. Genfos just continues to hold this ridge line. They've learned their lesson. Baron crawling across, but what can you do? There are still nades on both sides though, so potential for a little argy-bargy over the ridge.
5 smokes on Baron. I'm surprised he's not using it, and yeah, that is why. Now it's a 3v1. Surely BTR will close this one out. Apex last up. Might even look to deny the points. He's got that nade. He's going to need to lob 2 nades in a row with perfect impact, but BTR is going to do it instead. Oh, falls a little far. Apex tosses one out. That might have given away his position. Gets some nice damage. 3 more nades. The shot should connect soon.
He spotted one, and finally they managed to turn their attention out to Apex. BTR close it down. The start of today hasn't been the greatest for them, but that point buffer has kept them afloat. And with this chicken dinner, it was a pretty high elimination count as well. I think they were up to 12, maybe something around that. They have put another massive leap ahead of the rest of this lobby. A great start. They'll be over that 100-point barrier as well. And this is good to see. So they haven't just fully dropped off. They are still here to play.
Yeah, Bigatron is back here, coming into day number 2. I believe that is the MVP, getting a nice shot, and that is Lepar. And like I said, you know, when you start off the match with 3 free elims and you've had that damage number, it's gonna help you, especially if your team, you got the chicken dinner, so you will be that MVP. And it looks like we can get the best of both worlds. Vampire showing up today, and BTR as well.
Absolutely. 4 eliminations for Genfos. In the meantime, Satalis went down before, which is why his numbers look to be so 0-based right now. And the rest of the 3 were able to leverage that eastern side. So really decent showing from them, playing on that eastern compound, forcing everyone to stay in those hills on the west.
Yeah, great execution out of BTR too. And I can't help but to think, though, this could have been Influence Rage's win. I thought Influence Rage would be the team to fight BTR, you know, given the circle we saw in that situation, and Influence Rage could have taken the win. But still, a 4v3 assault onto BTR of all teams. Influence Rage could have easily lost that just as well. So Influence Rage continue to be a little bit consistent, but it is BTR, you know, with that huge win. And things are starting to heat up even more now with BTR coming into the fray, Vampire Esports coming into the fray, and quite a few other notable teams getting some chicken dinners.
I never had a doubt that Bigatron would be able to step up today when everyone else, all the haters out there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to talk about what I was doing with Vampire earlier today. Yes, Bigatron, man. We literally just questioned, in particular Cameron Davis, talking about how we need to see more. What they completely fell off from yesterday. I think they had 10 points on the day going into this match. And Cameron, they do step back up here. They do still show they are a team to mess with.
For the record, this was a group effort. We all brought the question up. We all identified that they weren't getting that many points for the first couple of rounds. You two are the ones that did the math. I don't know why you're trying to put this on me, but yes, Bigatron do come right back out on top. The beginning of this was that early game hot drop where they just caught all of those parachuting players off from the very beginning, which does elevate their elimination numbers just a little bit, the damage numbers as well for Lepar specifically. But that I like the idea that they played a really aggressive early game. They caught a couple of other players as well, even past that initial drop situation, but then slowed it down because in the mid game, in the late game, they were actually on the low ground. They didn't have as much priority over trying to take control of the zone, and so they played more to what the resources that they had in order to close this thing out with the 12 eliminations overall. So really good pacing over the course of what they had in front of them this entire match.
Seven, I don't understand, man. Every player I see, like it's like they're my hand. They're all holding their hands with their fingers up. Gilles coming in from IHC, another team that we literally, how we're like watching this game and talking about like towards the bottom of the leaderboard, we all kind of talked about how IHC is a team that we are quite surprised they're doing so poorly, but for them to step up in this match in particular is a fantastic showing. They were 16th place, now they're up to 11th, and that's how, you know, one decent game can really change the tides for you here, Seven.
Yeah, and then for them is, can they actually continue on this momentum? Remember, this team definitely has the experience. What was it? PMGC 2022 Grand Finals, they ended up in 5th place. And I feel like that's why a lot of us were like, okay, what's going on with this team? They were able to respond to us before we even started giving them a little bit of BM, but I just want to see a little bit more consistency out of this team. And I completely agree with Cam, what Cam was saying there from BTR. The way they slowed down their play and just used those resources was wonderful. And in regards to Influence Rage, I was actually surprised that they decided to go straight down to the... Actually, am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. It's Influence Rage. It's Brazil. That they decided to go straight down to the middle and just expose themselves from everywhere. Overall, great performances from someone from out of these teams. And also, I got a note on it too. Vampire Esports, they are starting to scout a little bit more. They just haven't been blessed by a circle. I want to see Vampire Esports blessed by one circle and see